What's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Good. So you're Chuck. I'm Tommy. Yeah. So for anyone watching, I don't know you. You don't know me. But just finding people for my podcast. Anyone with anything interesting at all to say, and shit, man. You're in the Navy. That sounds cool as shit to me. So, the fuck did you do? Or what hockey game did you watch the other night?
Yo, I was watching the Caps Kings game.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm from New England. Yesterday was my dad's birthday. The Patriots disappointed with a. that was not a birthday present. I don't think he enjoyed. Fuck that.
Oh man.
Yeah. But then again, anyone that's not from New England's probably fucking happy. So yeah. Everyone I know is like the Empire's dying, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Tom Brady's not a patron saint to everyone else. So yeah, man. But what'd you do in the Navy? What? I don't even know. Like what? Yeah, I don't know anything about anything.
I was at FC. I worked on like data systems and radars.
What's FC mean? I literally don't know anything.
You good, man? Yeah, like think about like your radars and your weapon systems, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Would you work like what kind of shit? Like aircraft carrier, plane? Like were you stationed on something, or was it like on like? Did you like service shit, or I mean, I literally don't know anything.
Oh, you good, man? I was on an LHD. Like a aircraft carrier, but a little bit smaller. We launch jets, and we have a ton of Marines on there.
Holy shit!
Yeah. We pop off like Harriers, and we have a lot of like propellered aircraft.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. We got like LCACs, like think like hovercrafts, where we take Marines and or tanks and all their other crazy gear, and we can float all that ashore.
Jesus Christ, dude! How fucking loud is a Harrier?
Dude, those things they're relentless, man. They're stupid loud.
Yeah, man, that's gotta be you gotta feel like you're on acid watching a plane just rise vertically. Like
it's wild, man.
Yeah, dude, I think I'd freak the fuck out. I freak out when I see a helicopter. Did you guys ever have any like F-35s or anything?
So no, I got out before they really came to fruition. Obviously it took them a lot longer than they wanted to get those running, but they're starting to get on ships now.
You what?
Said no, but they're starting to get them on ships now. So
now, do you think with any aircraft launching ship they're gonna move to drones, or I guess predominantly drones like UCAVs, like, or do you think they'll always want a pilot in there? The human variable.
I think they, at the moment at least, God only knows what the future will bring, but I think they fill two different niches, if you will. I think like whether if you support it or not, what was it, Friday, I think? Mm-hmm. I think that's definitely a better use of a drone, whereas something like, maybe a dogfight or attacking a ship or something like that, like more traditional warfare. Yeah. I don't think drone technology, at least in my opinion, I don't know, who am I? Yeah. But I don't think it's at that point yet.
Yeah, man, that's so the B-21 bomber, though, is supposed to be able to be unmanned. I mean, granted, I'm pretty sure it's a special access program, so I watched a video on it, and it's like even in Congress they can't get anything. Apparently some congressman asked, and he was like, what can we know about it? Apparently they just told him it has wings and it can fly. That's all they said. But they said it could it'd be piloted, but it could also have drone capabilities. So it's just like shit, if the successor to the B-2 bomber is going to have drone capabilities, and apparently Lockheed Martin said that with their 6th generation fighter, because fuck it, we always need the newest, but apparently their 6th generation fighter is also going to have like drone capabilities, so it's going to have a cockpit, but it's also, so it seems like, from my completely uneducated unversed viewpoint, it seems like they're getting to a point where they want to have everything almost kind of like dual use. Like you can, you can go in there and fuck shit up with pilots, but they also, I don't know. I don't know what the benefit to, I mean, obviously, like, yeah, okay, you have a drone shot down, you don't lose a pilot. The only thing I could think of is, do they want them to start doing shit that a human can't survive? Like maneuvers or, yeah. So, but it feels like interrupt me, by the way, because I fucking talk nonstop. It seems like that's like a slippery slope. Whether or not it's good, I don't know. And yeah, but it's like, so like something I used to think was like, so in college I was a biology major. I got a biology degree from UGA in 2013 and was accepted to medical school at the University of Miami in 2014. Decided not to go. And nice, set of beer. Solid. And yeah, I got my vitamin C. But it seems like, so like what? But one thing I used to say was like as AI is getting better and more pervasive in society, it's it's replacing more and more things, and it's going to replace cars, and so it's already, we've been customer service, that's been AI since the 90s. So it's right. As its IQ is going up, or whatever the equivalent is, it's taking over more and more specified jobs. And my shitty joke used to be, I don't need to worry about that because I want to be a doctor. By the time robots can do what doctors do, there won't be any other job for me anyway, and I'll probably be more concerned with fighting Skynet. But it makes me think, like, shit, if we're gonna give the B-21 drone capabilities, like, it seems like everything beneath that they would be okay with giving it, because I feel like that's already like the tip of this, like, like no radar cross section.
That's like the glass ceiling of where you want AI to be in warfare. I think I couldn't imagine anything worse.
And untrackable. I mean, it's fucking stealth. It's shit. I mean, in Ben Rich's Skunk Works, he said the F-117 had a radar cross section of a ball bearing.
That's wild.
And that's before the B-2. And the B-2 is getting replaced by the B-21. And they want the B-21 to be able to loiter at, like, something insane, like 80,000 feet. So, Jesus. Yeah. Because they're like, fuck it, we don't need a penetrate below radar. This thing's just going to, the SR-71 logic, just go higher. But yeah, no, it's like you said it perfectly. I was like, it's like, shit, man, you want that thing with its, I mean, fuck, for all intents and purposes, that thing's going to have the fucking cross-section of, like, a fucking mouse's testicle. And and you want it to be holding whatever the B-53, whatever the fucking the thermonuclear warhead is. Like, we're giving that AI and drone capabilities. Like what could possibly go wrong?
I feel like with that kind of a payload, there would always have to be someone behind the console controlling it, though. I don't think
So do I. Like, I feel like I feel like there'd have to even be someone on board. Like, not simply even just droning. I mean, like, I feel like you'd want someone on board to literally.
I mean, I would.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like once you get to the absolute, like, upper echelons of military power and leadership, I don't know, man. Sometimes it feels like they'd be willing to do anything. Like, no, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm all for it, but it seems like logic isn't always, shit like. Do you know who Andy Stumpf is? This SEAL Team 6 guy that was on Joe Rogan's podcast.
I know him, yeah.
Yeah. He's talking about, like, the nuclear bomb, like the atom bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And he's like, it was justified, blah, 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 blah. And Rogan goes, he's like, do you think there was, like, any part, though, that they were just like, fuck it, let's see what happens. Like, we just want to drop it anyway. and Andy Stumpf goes, seeing what I've seen, I wouldn't put it past us. Just like, hey, like, it's going to end the war, but let's also just let's drop it. Let's see what this fucker does. Like, because Curtis LeMay was worried that we were firebombing so many cities we weren't going to be able to use the nuke on a human population. That was his concern. But yeah, man, To go in a complete opposite direction, do you think they're gonna ever? Do you think they're how long do you think they start outfitting shit with railguns? That's if you can't tell, that's where my heart is right now.
I think there's still some issues with it. I don't want to get into it too deep, but I mean, they're obviously working on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you ever saw? Just pure, like, trying to think from my standpoint, not in the Navy. I've shot a gun like 5 times. Like, I'm excited when I see a fucking airliner. So and it doesn't necessarily have to be crazy from like. Yeah, so just think that I'm going to be easily entertained by whatever you say. So like, what's the craziest shit you've ever seen?
I think the coolest thing that I ever saw was when we would do our practice missile shoots. I was on board for 2 of them. Those were always, a great time. I got to be outside for one of them, and
oh shit,
it's big missile shoot drone. It's cool.
Yeah, holy shit. What the fuck is that like? Yeah, describe that. What is it like? I've seen a million YouTube videos, but again, that doesn't do it justice. Like, it's like watching 4th of July videos on YouTube. It's not the same. Like,
yeah. I mean, it's really not as awesome as you think it is. Like, when we shot, it's a lot louder than, I ever thought it would be. Mm-hmm. The missile, like, it leaves the rail, it leaves the gun, and the drone's so far out there, you lose sight of the missile, and the drone's too far away to see.
Oh, shit.
So, like, did that sucker just fall into the ocean?
Yeah.
Or,
yeah.
And then, like, 5 seconds later, you just see a way
shit.
out the distance, and you're like, oh, yeah, I guess it totally did hit.
You're like, oh, fuck, we're wielding the fucking huge dick of power. That's crazy, man. So, because I watched something last night, and it was saying that there's like 48 aircraft carriers in the world, 24 of which are the U.S., 14 of which of those are nuclear powered, and they include... How many? What?
How many are in the U.S.? We only have...
That's what I thought. I thought we had like 13.
Well, depending on the source, just because of like the kind of ship I was on.
I think they're including that as an aircraft carrier because it carries aircraft.
Some sources do. We don't designate it as an aircraft carrier, but some sources do.
Yeah. No, that's what it said. Some have like smaller deck space and launch shit, but yeah. So what all could you guys launch?
As far as fixed wing, pretty much as Harriers as far as jets go. And then outside of that, we had a slew of different types of helicopters, all with different missions. Mm-hmm. And then the MV-22 Osprey.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You guys had that?
Yeah, those were going up and down all the time.
Is that thing a fucking trip to watch?
Those things are wild, man.
Really?
I never got the chance to go on one, but everyone that I've talked to that's been on one, because you know how the wings kind of they do this to shift.
So for anyone,
they'll be like going up in the air, and you're riding in there, and while the wings are shifting, the fucking thing just starts to come down.
Oh yeah, well I guess that makes sense. It would. Yeah, no. So for anyone that doesn't know, V-22 Osprey is a fucking plane. Looks like it's just got 2 normal props going forward, but they can rotate up, take off vertically. Yeah, I know a ton of people died over the years testing them. But yeah, dude, I watched a video yesterday about like the embassy in Iran, and there's some IR video of 3 Ospreys going in and like landing in the compound and Marines coming out, and I was like, oh fuck, I was like, oh fuck, this is getting real. It was like, because at first they had like an Apache flying and it was like shooting flares, and I was like, okay, yeah, show of force, and then it was some plane view of I was like, what is, and it's like just 3 Ospreys, and I was like, oh fuck, they're okay, big dick energy, like okay, that's what they're doing now. But so this might be a stupid question, but can y'all land jets? Do they just, like, the Harriers, do they... Because I that's, again, it sounds like a stupid question, but...
No, it's totally not. We don't have a catapult like a carrier does. Yeah. It's one of the big differences between our deck and a carrier.
Yeah.
So, there are different variants of like the Harriers and the F whatevers that require a catapult, and since we don't have that, we're pretty much limited to vertical takeoff and landing aircraft.
What I was going to say is, but they can land.
I'm pretty sure they always land it with V-stall.
But okay, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like it would never be a
I get that. I wasn't sure if they could, because I'm retarded, but I wasn't sure if you could launch them, vertically take off and go. I wasn't sure if they had to like land on like a full-fledged aircraft carrier, or if they could. So they can slow down and still land vertical. Like I know what V-stall is. I didn't know if they did that on those ships though. So
Yep.
So how the fuck do they do that? Like it's because, like you said, it seems like during the change in, I guess, thrust or force direction, it plummets out of the sky. How do they does it literally they just come in and slow down and then just start coming down vertically?
Yep.
That's fucking insane, dude.
It's crazy.
That's
man.
fucking insane. Fuck that. Fuck that. In the middle of the fucking ocean too. Fuck right? That noise. Did you ever go swimming in like the middle of the ocean?
They did a swim call a couple times when I was on board when we were on deployment, but I was just so bloody tired I decided to get an extra couple hours of sleep.
Yeah.
So
fuck that.
Yeah, I didn't.
I would have never gone in. Fuck that noise, dude. Fuck that. Fuck that. It's like 3 miles of ocean water underneath you with goddamn fucking dinosaurs. Fuck, dude. Whenever I see those videos of like guys jumping off like Navy ships, and it's just they're like, you got to get in. It's cold, and I'm just like, how the fuck are you not freaking the fuck out, dude? Fuck that. That makes my stomach turn just thinking about it, man. How so again, another retarded question. What hovercrafts does Navy? I didn't know they fucking had. I mean, now that I think of it, like they have these huge fuckers that ride right up on shore and then they drop the thing, and how fucking big are those? Dude,
they're huge. They carry the tanks and engineering equipment and all that stuff. It's wild.
So they can carry like Abrams?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Right?
Dude, the C5 Galaxy can only carry 2 Abrams. Well, I guess you're not flying. You're on the water, but fucking Christ, dude.
Yeah, that's how they get like all the equipment that we have on board the ship on to the shore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. How many people can they hold? Or is it mostly just equipment and shit?
So as far as like the training exercises we did, they utilized the Osprey and the LCACs, and I think the other ones are called LCUs, something else.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know how many people they specifically fit on board. I'm sure I know at one time, but many years have passed.
Yeah. How often did you guys do like I guess you probably train around the clock, but how often did you do like full like fledged like D-Day training? Like
D-Day training.
If you can tell, my perfectly educated military lexicon is D-Day training.
I don't know how many times precisely, but they definitely did a lot of training on going to shore, like mock missions and all that kind of stuff. So the Marines definitely get their training in with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. All right, so I have to ask, did you ever see any fucking UFOs with your radar? Come on, man, tell me.
I am surprised how many times I've gotten asked that question since I've gotten out. But
dude, that's what I want to know. Is dude, like
you literally started a whole podcast just to figure this out.
This has been a 3-week long con. I've been staking out your house. This is literally how it's. Yeah, I'm in your garage right now. So nothing insane. No,
never.
No, like 5,000 mile an hour V-stall, straight up vertical shit.
Nothing that we couldn't explain, man.
Really?
Start to burst your bubble. Yeah.
God damn it. What are like radar like phantoms like returns? Because you do get shit that's not actually there, right?
Oh,
or is that just
like
was that like
old and stuff?
Yeah, like phantom returns. Yeah.
If you think about it, like a radar, like very basic, it shoots RF out into the atmosphere. It hits something, it comes back.
Yeah.
A lot of times those are caused by like environmental factors like moisture in the atmosphere, or you might get a return from like a radar that's kind of running the same frequency you are, and something bounce back and gets you that way. With modern radars, we have a lot of software built in to try to negate a lot of that. When you put a bunch of radars together, if only one is coming back with a weird return, the systems will kind of be like, well, that's obviously not a thing when you have, a half dozen of them on board.
Yeah.
So they kind of look out for each other in that way.
Yeah. What's like the ceiling of those?
I can't tell you that.
Okay. Fuck. Damn it.
Sorry, man.
Damn it. Okay, FBI is watching now. I got a new subscriber.
I was wondering what that van outside was doing.
You passed the test, dude. We can tell you about the UFOs now. Yeah, but I was so I was watching. If you can't tell, I like UFOs. I was so Rogan had on he was a Navy pilot, it's like Fravor. He's the guy that saw like the Tic Tac UFO, the one that the Pentagon actually did they release a video? Well, the Pentagon, like, they made a statement. Did you? This was in like 2004.
Oh wait, was that the one that was in, like, that Blink 182 music video or something that the government actually accidentally released?
Wait, what?
There was I read about it. This was like a month ago, I think I read about it. And apparently, like, one of those 90 bands, like Blink 182 or one of them, they had like a UFO like thing from the side of a pilot's cockpit. And it was later found out that the Navy wasn't supposed to like release that or something. They're like, we have no comment on this right now.
Well, dude, you know that I used to love Blink 182. You know the lead guy, Tom DeLonge. You know he's gone like balls deep UFO. Like
that was probably it. Though.
Yeah, like the last couple years, he's gone like balls deep on UFOs, and actually has some really weird company now, like an actual company, but in terms of like the company he keeps, like a guy named Steve Justice, who used to be in charge of Skunkworks. He has an ex guy from DARPA. He has like, it's some really weird shit that he has like ex Pentagon officials. He has like generals and shit. It's really weird, man. No, but this was the 2000. There was the Nimitz. It was like the Nimitz incident. It was in 2004, but they were doing, I think, shit off like the coast of San Diego or something, and there's the whole podcast. It's Commander Fravor, and he's like, they're going out and just doing exercises. It was like, they had like Marines, like they were going to be like the bad guys, and they were going to, I don't fucking need to explain this shit to you. And let me walk you through what this means. But he was like, no, they went out and then they got like a real world. He's like, we got like a real world bogey or something. And I'm butchering it. You need to watch the podcast. But they go out and said there's something in it. It looks like something is just underneath the water. They said it looked like a 737, almost kind of like a cross. There was like a little kind of disturbance. Like you could tell like water was breaking it because they're out in the middle of fucking nowhere. There shouldn't be any like weird, waves breaking. So like the first thought was like, oh fuck, like this is a 737 down. Like, okay, fuck. But then he said there was something that looked like, hence the name, a Tic Tac. So it looked like a 40-foot long, white, smooth Tic Tac. So there's no rotor wash, there was no engine, there was no cockpit. But he said it was sitting right over the water where that disturbance was, and it was going back and forth like that. He said not like, accelerating forward and then going backwards like a helicopter. He described it like a ping pong ball in a glass cup. Like, brrr. And I guess they started coming down on it to see what it was. And it started sort of like mirroring. So he was like coming down in like, I guess, a fucking circle or whatever. Again, my perfect military lingo. Coming down as a downward circle. It sounds like a yoga position. But he was coming down and he said this thing started like mirroring him. And then He said it went from like I guess his forward-looking infrared was locked on it to it went over the horizon. He said in 0.8 seconds. And if you calculate it, it comes out to something like Mach 350. But but he talks about that they go back and they give the tape, and he's like, there's no men in black, there's no one coming on board, like, you didn't see this. He said they all looked at it and they're like it's like everyone was like busting his balls, like, hey man, you just saw a UFO? And he's like, yeah, let's watch the tape. And he says they like put it in, and said after that everyone was like, what the fuck? But so he went and talked to whoever, I think it was like they're like Aegis class ships, or are they whatever they are. He said that those have
destroyers and cruisers.
Yeah, he said they're I forget what the name of that radar system was, but he was like, that radar.
Spy.
Yeah. And I forgot. Yeah, and but he was like, yeah, we talked to them and they were like, he's like, we're kind of upset because we talked to them and they said, yeah, we've been tracking these things for the past 3 weeks. A couple of them, they said they come down from 80,000 feet and then they stop right above the sea level and they'll sit there for a couple hours and then they'll shoot right back up. But the weird thing is like the Pentagon acknowledged it, but it's like it's not really, no one's talking about it. And part of me is like, why the fuck? How come? Why isn't everyone freaking the fuck out? Like, they just said, like, yeah, these things come down from 80,000 feet, they sit right above the water, and then they go back up. We don't know what they are. And they even got, like, another warning, like, hey, just be careful when you're out there. We don't want you to hit them. They said there were radar returns, but they talk about how they're not. So, whole purpose to me saying this is they said that they're not phantom returns. He said that multiple, what'd you say it was? The spy radar. What an awesome name. He said that they all said that they tracked them. Said there weren't phantom returns and they tracked them. And and then he said on the East Coast in like 2010 they tracked they call it the gimbal video, but it's might be the one you're talking about. Yeah, it's like a forward-looking infrared video, and it's you can hear the two guys talking, the two pilots, and they're like, look at that thing, bro. And then it's going, and it like turns, and it starts going kind of like, I guess, gimbal, and it just kind of goes like that. Yeah, and it's like a 30-second infrared video, but yeah, I
think that's it.
Yeah. But apparently, yeah. So what the fuck is all that shit? Asking you, what the fuck is that? So they said they caught it on Spy 1 radar, and yes, what the fuck does that mean? What does that mean, man? Tell me. Don't keep me in the dark. The people need to know.
No, man, I can't say I wasn't there.
Yeah.
They're getting radar returns, I guess. Something was there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a bullshit answer. That's a bullshit answer. Tell me what you know, man. Tell me what you know. Tell me what you can tell me.
So what happens is after we get out, they do like a Men in Black thing to us, so we forget the stuff that we didn't want them to know. So that's where I am right now. I actually don't.
You actually don't know where you are. You don't.
Yeah. I don't even know if this is my actual name. For all I know, I could have had a totally different birth name and been born in Mexico. I don't know, man.
I think I served in the Navy. I think I did, man. I'm telling you what this guy's pocket had in him. I'm not Chuck. I found this guy. Like, Jesus fuck. So do y'all have another retarded question? Do y'all have? So if you operated radar, are you also like well versed in sonar? Sorry if you hear a noise. That's my computer fan.
Yeah, my headphones are just terrible.
Okay, all right.
Sonar, I mean, it's kind of like radar, but it works underwater. Specifically, I don't think our boat definitely didn't have sonar. All it had was like a depth finder to see how deep the water was. Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of lacking in that department, to be honest.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is on those small boys, those Aegis ships you were talking about.
Yeah.
The submarine hunters you were probably about to ask about.
Yeah. God damn it, you're reading my mind. All right. So can you explain to me like what radar is? And I know that sounds retarded, but like from my like understanding, I know about like World War II radar, and I'm now realizing, as I said, I've just assumed that it hasn't changed at all since, and I'm like, oh, it's just a circle thing, and it shoots shit and comes back. Like, do you have? Is it like, does it like sweep? Is it like fucking just real time? Like what is it?
So what happens is, like, you got the basic of it. Like, down below deck, you have all these units that crank electricity up, turn it into, RF radiation, essentially, shoots it out of the antenna, and it's the antenna, if it's the kind of radar that has a sweeping antenna, it's just constantly bursting out radiation, what's called a duty cycle. Essentially, the radar is constantly turning, the transmitter is constantly turning on and off. And that if that, RF hits something and it has a big enough RCS, it'll come back, and if it matches the right frequency of the radar to make sure it's picking up its own thing and not another radar's. It's called an echo pulse. It sends it downstairs back down to the equipment, and it amplifies that to something that us as people can kind of look at and see what's going on, and it plops it on a screen somewhere.
And that's okay. Yeah. Now, what do the returns look like? So is it just like size? Is it like intensity, or is it literally comical? Do you see like the outline of a plane? Like what is it like?
The radars I worked on, you get more of like kind of blip sort of things, and based on which radars are returning, how strong the return is, you can have a very good idea of what the profile of the return is, whether it's going to be, a speedboat, a regular boat, a cruise liner, whatever for a surface radar, and if, air, based on how fast it's moving, how far away it is, the intensity, you can kind of tell, well, that might be insert here.
Do things, and I don't know if you can answer this, do things like anti-missile systems, like CWIS or something, does that rely on human feedback, or is it like, does that happen so quick it has to be like, those have to track it with like its own radar? Because I know they've got
it does have its own radar.
Yeah, I know it has a huge bulb on it. It looks like a big fucking like oval testicle, but like those things are so fast, and they're obviously leading it with a goddamn fucking chain gun. Like, I figured, like, does that have? That's not someone looking at it and going, like, there's a missile, it has to shoot. Does this thing just, is it happening so quick that there's like it's doing it all?
There's an autonomous and a person controlled mode as well. Yeah.
Now, what is so disrupting about hypersonic weapons that, like, is the, again, I don't know if you can answer this, breaking my heart, but would you not see them far enough? Let's say they're like a hypersonic anti-ship missile. I'm working for Russia. I'm getting questions for the KGB. Now I've got an American flag, but like, so obviously some Mach 5 is, yeah, it's pretty fucking fast, but if is the radar not powerful enough that you don't see them far enough away that even something like, CWIS or even just, I guess, maneuvering the fucking ship out of the way, easier said than done? Or does a hypersonic, is it a combination? Is the radar not strong enough that doesn't see it that far away? That, because, if you're moving at however fucking 3,500 miles an hour, but if you see it 100 miles away, you still got some time to move. Figure what the SR-71 Blackbird went almost a mile a second, did it? So a little faster.
Yeah, that thing's wild.
Yeah. But so the hypersonic would be almost 2 times faster than that. But if you could see it, let's say 100 miles away, that'd still be, let's say hypersonic. Let's just, for shits and giggles, let's say it's going 3 miles a second. That's still, fuck, I can't do math. But that's still 20 seconds. So what is it about that hypersonics that is, so not necessarily, you don't need an understanding of hypersonics so much as I'm asking you as someone that worked on and is well versed in radar. what then is it about hypersonics that makes them so disruptive, or am I just eating up like propaganda for why?
No, so this isn't something that like I particularly dealt with. Like if someone's going to deal with that, it's going to be those small boats or small boys that you were talking about with the Aegis systems. This is me just speculating, but because of what we call, just from a radar perspective, just the scan time on a radar, that's how long it takes to go a full 360 degrees. Some of those radars have really slow scan times, and with how fast that missile is moving, I don't think we would get a good picture. And by the time we got it,
it's like, right there.
The boat's not autonomous. Like, it does need people input to do things. So by the time you get a solid track, you get everything ready to go. The decision is made that, yes, this is most definitely not a false return or, something else going on. I would assume that too late would come really fast.
Jesus. That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
God damn it. So,
like I said, that's just me speculating.
Yeah. Blink twice if they're pointing a gun at you. So, damn. Can you guys do like over the horizon radar? Is that possible? Is there technology for that? Am I retarded? Is that something that's been possible for 50 years and I'm retarded, or?
Well, sort of, kind of, yes. So, like, if you think about, obviously, in case you didn't know, the Earth is kind of tilted.
Bullshit. It's flat. Fake news. This podcast is over.
So, like, if you think about the curvature of the Earth and, like, you're here, you can only see, what is it, like 13, 14 miles away?
Yeah.
So what we do is, like, especially on the big-ass ship I'm on, you put, like, your air searching your fire control radars at the very top over here, so you can see over, like, people horizon just because they're so, 200 feet up in the air? Something over 200, I think.
200? Jesus Christ. Fucking... So what? But there's a book called Raven Rock, by a guy named Garrett Graff, and it's like my favorite book right now. But it's about the nuclear bunkers that started. Well, technically it started under FDR. That was the first one, but really blew up under Eisenhower and JFK.
One's out in Western Maryland.
What? Yeah.
The one out in Western Maryland.
Yeah.
I know about those. Yeah.
Oh. What can you tell me?
Sorry. No, I just come from out that way. I'm aware.
I've really got to piss. Chuck,
get it, dude.
Yeah, tell everyone. Yeah, just quick synopsis, 30-second synopsis on your Navy career.
Well, my Navy career, man.
Or yeah.
Joined back in 12. Got out in 18. Made first class on my way out, which was pretty sweet. Did a deployment over to the Mediterranean, Middle East, which actually had a lot of fun. Got to see Spain, Italy, Israel, Oman, and I think a couple of other Middle Eastern countries, which weren't really that fun. It's pretty cool, though. Had a good time. Got some swim calls, did some beer days on the ship, which was kind of cool. The beer was always warm, though, which sucks. That's pretty much it. Go away, kitty.
I'm alive.
What?
I've realized I probably need. Literally, this is podcast number 8. Every single time, I've literally about an hour in, I'm like, I gotta piss. I'm sorry. I probably need to give people a warning. I'm like, hey man, prepare a little personal statement. Oh, you said you're from Maryland, or?
Yep.
I'm in Maryland right now.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, right outside Ocean City.
Oh, okay. I'm down in Waldorf right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Where the fuck is that?
Yeah. Waldorf, Southern Maryland, sort of.
I've lived in Georgia most of my life. I moved home with my parents in 2016, getting an online graphic design degree because I did not. It's what I love, man. It's fucking, like I said, I got into med school. Was not happy though. Fucking miserable. I was miserable. Yeah. So, but yeah, no. So Raven Rock is the book's called Raven Rock, but it's about all of the complexes. It's about like Cheyenne Mountain, Mount Weather. But one of the things they talk about, which I thought was pretty cool, was so they have these domes that are like right under the surface, and for after a fucking thermonuclear blast, just fucking desanitizes all life. These things they come up afterwards, so they're troposcatic relay, but they said it's for over the horizon. But so all these things are obviously meant to work in a system with each other, like radar. But also in case like nothing else survived, they need to be independent. And they said that they had or have an ability to bounce shit off, I guess, the troposphere.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. You can do that.
Yeah. So yeah. Can you explain that? Because it's black magic to me.
It's what did we call it? I think they called it arcing. I think, but it's it's totally a thing. You pretty much just explained it well. You would shoot a signal out, it bounces off the atmosphere, and when it comes back, it's because it essentially just bounced off like something would off a mirror.
Yeah.
As long as the return is strong enough for the radar, it can make something out of it.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, man, that book is like, you always like, obviously idiots like me, it's always like, what does the government have, man? But reading that book, or not reading, listening on Audible, because I can't read good, but listening to it.
Don't they sponsor?
What? Yeah, for shit, man. I'd fucking, I'd sell it. I've always mentioned companies and shit. I'm not sponsored, but that does not mean I will not sell out. I would happily. Audible, get yours today, $15.99. Okay, but they talk about the whole. So like the first bunker wasn't even really a bunker. They just built a ramp from under the White House to, I guess, the Treasury. I don't know the layout of DC. One of the buildings around there had like a vault, and so they literally built a ramp, so FDR, so they could just kind of roll them down. Yeah, and Truman actually had one put under. I think they said it was like under like the front lawn. It was enough to survive like a direct bomb attack, but only for like a couple days. And then under Eisenhower is when shit really exploded, because he's the logistics magician, and he was like, this isn't going to be like we see bombers inbound and it's like we got 7 hours until the heavy bombers come across the Atlantic and bomb America. He was like, you're going to have like minutes and seconds with ICBMs. And he's like, and furthermore, these aren't V2s that are going to come down and take out the building across the street. It's like these things are, because he's talking about megatons. He's like, these things are thousands of times more powerful than the things that we dropped on Hiroshima. He's like, we're going to go from where we are now to, I think he said the submarine launched missiles. They called it 1,600 seconds. They had 1,600 seconds until they would hit DC. And he's like, and we'll be back to bows and arrows. So he wanted bunkers like everywhere, not just like one or two. He's like, he wanted them everywhere. He called it the relocation arc. He literally wanted them, so it doesn't matter where you were. And then there was pre-designated areas. I'm not going anywhere with this so much as I think it's cool, so I'm just going to rant about it. But there's
you're good. I'm just sitting here thinking about Fallout the whole time.
Yeah. And
Fallout tech. That's all it was.
Exactly. Yeah, man. I saw some fucking meme yesterday, and it was like It was like everyone freaking out about World War III with Iran, and then it's like me who's been collecting soda caps for the last 10 years, and it's just got DiCaprio and Wolf of Wall Street throwing the money, and it's like, this is me. He's like, I'm going to be a fucking warlord after the apocalypse. But fuck, man, what's going to happen with that? Do you think we're going in a World War III with Iran?
I don't think World War. I think that's definitely overdoing it just for the sake of memes.
Yeah, but which is great. Hey, I'm all about the meme economy, man.
The meme party won't stop.
The meme economy isn't. I'm glad that we can agree on that. The meme economy is very important. It's you got to stay at the forefront. You see news. I felt I slept in yesterday morning and woke up, or 2 mornings ago. Woke up and I saw all these World War III memes, and I was like, fuck. I was like, I'm already behind. By the time I learned about it, I was like, God damn it. That happens. Memes never sleep, dude. You fucking miss one day, man. You miss one day. It's like missing out on fucking Tesla stock or some shit. But yeah. No, for the meme economy, it's great.
Yeah.
But, yeah, what do you think it's going to actually... it's not going to turn... I did a podcast yesterday with my buddy Ernie that I went to college with. And he was like... think about it. He's like, there's not going to be a war, because if there was one, it would have started. He's like, it would have started. Granted, Ernie has no military experience either, but he was like, think about what we did. He's like, we blew up a general at an international airport. He'd be like, imagine if Iran iced Mattis at like Toronto airport. he's like, and imagine if some force did that and they were so powerful there was no repercussions. He was like, that's what we just did. And he's like, yeah, there are going to be sanctions and fist waving, but he's like, for the most part, it's the rest of the world kind of has to bend over. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm not taking a side on it, but I mean, obviously I'm taking the American side, but yeah, it's. What do you think is gonna? None of what I just said means anything to the question I'm asking you. But what do you think is gonna? How do you think this is gonna unfold?
In my personal opinion, Iran will retaliate. Obviously, they're not going to have boats come over here and fuck our shit up. But bombing here or there, maybe play with some ships going through the Straits of Hormuz.
Yeah,
will likely retaliate back again. I don't think we would ever have troops go over there, though, because for whoever would decide that would just pretty much be political suicide. Yeah, especially after how long we've been in the Middle East now. Well,
we're technically still the war in Afghanistan. That's technically still going on, correct?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that alone is why I don't think we would ever send troops over to Iran, unless if they did something completely batshit crazy. But they're not trying to turn it into a crater. So,
but do you think they'll do something batshit crazy? And again, everything I'm posing, I'm not bringing this up in any like take political sides or anything. I'm literally just posing questions. I just like to say stupid shit and kind of entertain all possibilities. If Iran retaliate, and you think they will?
I don't know what they'll do. I don't know how serious it'll be, but I don't think they're going to take it rolling over.
Yeah. Do you think that we'll just like? Do you think we'll just kind of keep being like a tit for tat thing? We'll just kind of, they'll get us, we'll get them. But I feel like if anyone's fucking crazy enough to do it, it would be Trump that would send troops in. Again, I personally like Trump. I know that's like political suicide nowadays. But I'm not trying to support or go against him. I feel like if there's anyone that like wouldn't give a fuck, and I'm not saying that's good or bad, it's probably bad, but if there's anyone that wouldn't give a fuck, it would be him, and would send troops in. I don't agree with it. I don't want to see a bunch of Americans die, but
like I said, because of the political suicide, I think everyone would advise him not to. And I honestly think, even though the incredibly inefficient state of our government right now, taking sides, specifically Congress with the Democrats controlling the House and the Republicans coming to the Senate, or controlling the Senate, I think the one thing they would be able to come on together with would be to stop sending troops to Iran.
Yeah.
I honestly think Pelosi could pass that no problem, and it would be the one thing Mitch McConnell would be like, yeah, no, we shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. It's. Do you watch South Park?
Not in a while, but I used to.
I haven't in several years, but do you know the one episode where like, man, my computer's fucking overheating. Do you know? I forget what fucking episode it is, but it's like my computer fan's going really hot. I want to make sure is the audio good on your end?
Yep.
It's fine. It'll survive. I think it's the one where like Britney Spears like blows her head off or something, but it's all about like sort of like American culture, like driving like, you know, these like young and successful like teen celebrities to just insanity. It's like they always start out as these like, you know, like Disney, like, you know, like Hannah Montana, Justin Bieber, like bull cut shit, and it's like it always evolves into like cocaine and like face tattoos. Like it always breaks down into like getting arrested for like drag racing your Lambo or something. But the whole thing is like they call it like the harvest. And it's so when they see it on TV, it's like Randy Marsh and everyone, but they always start with like this weird like Roman like demonic chanting. It's like Jesus, Papa Who's, and they all start chanting and shit. And by the end of it, like after like Britney Spears dies, they're like, I guess we learned our lesson, and they're like in the grocery store, and they look up on TV, and it's like Justin Bieber, and it's like, and the new young star Justin Bieber, and Randy's like, looks like it's gonna be a good harvest. But yeah, the meme I saw was like, it was like Americans when it seems like a war is ratcheting it up. It's just like everyone chanting like Jesus, Papa. It's just like everyone getting ready like war with Iran, war. Yeah, but so very roundabout, stupid way to say it. I don't know. It almost feels like there's a lot of people that might be, I don't know, dumb enough to cheer it on, like.
I don't say they don't exist. Yeah, they do exist, but I think
sort of the rah-rah majority. It's the rah-rah. You go fuck them up. You know, George Carlin, like, hey, we love bombing brown people. Like, it's But so let's say they like fuck shit up, all right? Because didn't Trump say yesterday? And again, said we're gonna like hit like 52 targets. Did you see that?
Yeah, they said they have 52 potential sites that they could hit.
God damn it! Like but if we just start like fucking up Iran, I feel like it's just looking at it from like an Iranian point of view, you gotta like not want to just be complete pussies. Like I feel like they're gonna lash out at, you know, some like. Okay, hello NSA, but it seems like they're gonna do some like USS Cole shit. Like, if they're
that's what I'm worried about. Yeah, that's why I said the Straits of Hormuz.
Yeah. Because they're all what? Didn't they? Was it Iran that seized an oil tanker like last year or yeah?
Yep.
And it seems like they might not, you know, go gently. What do you think? Do you think they're gonna? Let's say we fucking hit 52 targets, and it's not just General Salami. That's what I call him. I don't know how to say it.
I love it. You're good, man.
Yeah. General Salami. Yeah. It's not just, and we hit two more later that day, right?
Did we? I didn't hear about that.
They did a second strike that night.
Well, good.
Fuck it. Yeah, man. Fuck it. Whatever. But so let's say they do 50 more. Let's say they do 50 more. Iran, it's almost like we're just kind of fucking with them to make them fight back. You know, like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Shit, man, I don't know. Yeah. What happened with I don't tell this to everyone. I talk nonstop and I interrupt people nonstop. So please, if you want to say something, interrupt me. And also, if at any point you're finished, say like, hey, I've like, let's wrap it up. Because I'll talk forever. So don't let me keep you if you've got shit to do. What what all I never really looked into it, but being as someone that fucking loves, I love conspiracies, I love UFOs, I love all of it. I don't really believe any of it, but I love it. I love it for the story. Like this is my logic. You know, like fiction is fun, right? Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, whatever, Star Wars. Reality is stranger than fiction. To me, like conspiracy theories are just spiced up reality. So it's spiced up reality stranger than fiction. So that's why I love it. I love conspiracies as just like role playing like fiction. But everyone else they actually believe lizards are running the world. I like to go into it like I'm going to like Comic-Con or something. I put my mask on. I'm like, let's do this. So what all happened with those? Quite a segue. But what all happened with those? With what happened to Iran? Like it was like a month or two ago. Didn't like some of their oil facilities get fucked? Or something got some processing.
What did happen?
I never looked into that. So yeah, the point of me saying everything I just said was like, so it's surprising that I haven't looked into that because normally I would look into it and been like, what's the conspiracy? But like, no one claimed the attack, right?
I thought it was like rebels of sorts. I'm fuzzy on it.
Yeah,
it's happened so quickly now that I forget what happened 3 days ago. Because four more things have happened.
Yeah. But it almost it kind of seems like we've just been like poking Iran, just like Bill Hicks, the comedian died in like 1993, but he had his little act about like a Desert Storm was like he was like that was a complete slaughtering, and he was like it was literally like putting the gun at their feet and like pick up the gun, and they finally pick up the gun, we blow him apart, and you saw him. He had a gun. But like it almost seems like we're just like, hey Iran, like do something bitch, and they're gonna retaliate, and then we're gonna fucking glass them. But yeah, I don't really know how you respond to that. That wasn't really a question or
you good, dude. No, I mean we really had that, man, since we pulled out of like the in my opinion you can trace this everything that's happened over the past year and a half, 2 years back to getting out of the nuclear deal we had with them.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's just been been a shit show, to put it lightly.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's like you see all this shit happening, and like part of me is just like, it's like no, just everyone stop. Like this isn't going anywhere good. Like this isn't some like objective evil. Like hey, Hitler. He's invading other countries and he's burning Jews to death in camps. Like he's literally like a comic book villain. Like we needs to go stop, and everyone's like, yeah, we need to go stop him. Like yeah, it's like you can get behind that. This doesn't seem like there's like. It seems like it's being like manufactured, and it's just like no, everyone stop. Everyone stop. You don't think so?
Kind of. It almost seems like it. Like John Bolton was really good at poking the bear before he got out of there. He was really good at that.
Yeah. Well, he was
all about it.
He was one of the architects of the WMDs, right? He was one of the architects of that whole plan.
I remember Rumsfeld. It was
Rumsfeld? It was Cheney?
No, you're right. He was. I do remember that.
That was why when Trump brought him in, everyone was like, like, even like friends I have that like Trump were like, whoa, why are you bringing in that guy? Like, why are you bringing in the fucking Darth toothbrush mustache guy? But then like he got out of there, and it's like, oh, we got out without fucking up Iran. But yeah, I saw a meme.
Right.
Yeah, it was saw a meme yesterday, and it was like John Bolton right now, and he's just like sweating, like groaning deeply, like, oh yes, like John Bolton is. No one's seen him. He's in his room jacking off. Like he's so excited. He's so excited about this shit. He's waxing his mustache. But yeah, man. I don't remember where the fuck I was going with any of this. Oh yeah, you said it. You said there's it's hard to remember what happened like 3 days ago.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you know what the technological singularity is?
Nope.
It was put forward by a guy named Ray Kurzweil in like the 70s. I think he's still alive. He was like a science advisor to like Reagan, Clinton, Bush. This guy's a brilliant fucking guy. But he's all about like predicting trends. It's based off of literally like the evolution of life, like multicellular life, and then it's to like the wheel, fire, domesticating animals. But it's all about just like the trend of us sort of manipulating our environment for our own gain. And if you plot it, it's an exponential trend. And he said in like the 70s, he was like, I think he said in like 1972, he's like, I predict the Soviet Union will fall in like 1990. Just by he's like, it won't be through military force, it will be by the dissemination of information. He's like, because by then there will be things where you'll be able to send pictures and everyone's like, the fuck is this guy smoking? And I don't know if you remember, but a couple of years ago something came out in some CIA report where they said a large part of like the Soviet Union falling was fax machines. Because that's how you could get information to people. Because
that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, in the book Legacy of Ashes, they talk about all the CIA's, all the radios we used to set up, like Radio Free Europe, Radio Free Poland. That was like our weapon. We used to set this shit up in all the Soviet in the Eastern Bloc countries, and you just pump out pro America shit. And that he said you get the information out to them, but with fax it was literally just it was the dissemination of information. So anyway, this guy Ray Kurzweil in like the early 90s, he was like, there will be like touchscreen cell phones by like 2000. He said like 2006. iPhone came out in 2005. And again, so whenever he makes predictions, everyone's like, you're fucking retarded, and then it comes to pass. So he thinks that in 2045 will be where AI... No, he thinks AI will become as smart as humans in like 2030. And then once AI becomes as smart as a human... Well, if a human was smart enough to make AI, you now have something that is smart enough to make AI, right? An AI.
Yeah.
That doesn't need food and that doesn't need vacation days. So you can now, or you could take an AI that's as smart as a human, and instead of paying researchers at Pfizer or GlaxoSmithKline to have a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday researching whatever cancer therapy, you could now have one of these, or why have one? Get 100. They're going to be the size of laptops. Get 100, plug them in, say cure diabetes. They don't stop working at 5 p.m. They work around the clock. They don't take vacation days. And he's like, so he's like, things are going to start accelerating. Where, okay, solve the economy. Take the world's smartest economist. Fucking, okay, now let's have an AI that's as smart as him. Fuck it, let's have 100. Plug them all in. Get at it. Well, eventually, the AIs you're going to take them and go, let's take the world's smartest AI programmer. Now let's get one of these. Let's get 100. Plug them in. Design the next AI. Right? So this is where it goes. They then design...
I'm already scared, but keep going.
Yeah. I'm intrigued. Keep going. It's... So they're going to design the next one. Right? So it'd be like if you had an AI design the next iPhone. So normally instead of like, every year you get a new one, instead it would be like iPhone 11 just came out. Instead it would be like 6 months later the iPhone 12 comes out. Right?
Yeah.
So once these AIs have made the new generation of AIs, which are super smart, those ones are now smarter than humans.
Yeah.
Right? Take one of those, take 100, plug them in, make the next AI. And you guys, you second gen AIs, you're smarter than us. So make something that we can't fathom. And make it quickly. Plug them all in, go. They make the next generation. Now you're at third generation AI. Those ones are now smarter than the second gen. Plug them all in, make the next one. So it's called bootstrapping. It's the idea that the AIs are going to pick themselves up by the bootstraps and start making better and better. But now, instead of 6 months, so using the iPhone analogy, now the iPhone 13 comes out in 3 months. And then 30 days after that, the iPhone 14 comes out. And then 2 weeks after that, the 15. And then a day, the 16, and then in 5 hours, the 17, and then in 30 minutes, the 18, and then in 10 seconds, you're at iPhone 100. So it's, what Kurzweil says is by 2045, he said that's the, like over the horizon radar, he said that's the horizon. So we can't see past that. Like we can guess what will happen. These things will get smarter and smarter and smarter. And he's like, and we could, what are the lofty goals of humans right now? So, world peace, everyone's fed, everyone's educated, you don't have to work anymore. Fucking nanobots go in and fix all your gene therapy, no more cancer, you don't have to whatever. Really far out there is plug your brain into the cloud. You can leave your biology behind. You can transcend it entirely. But he said after that, he said that the progress doesn't stop. So these things will, because we can't really see past that. Like even your craziest ideas, immortality, infinite pleasure, whatever. But that's only what we can imagine as the ultimate, My dog, its ultimate is like, we're playing 24/7 and I always get treats and I go outside. But to me, I'm like, yeah, it's fun, whatever. But like, my goals and aspirations are much higher. So but the goals and aspirations of this infinitely intelligent AI are it's calculus to a tapeworm. Like it's beyond us. So he calls it the technological singularity. You can't see past it. It's the event horizon. It's the black hole. What happens beyond that, we don't know. So my idea, I had this like 2 years ago, right when Trump got elected. I was like, it seems like, so technology and society are intrinsically related, right? Can't separate them. Yeah. I mean, society is, okay, I'm making a podcast with the person I don't know that we met on Reddit just through some random shitpost, right? And here we are now. Like, you couldn't predict this. It happens. So my idea is that there's a cultural singularity. So as technology accelerates, culture accelerates. And in culture, you have crazy shit that happens, celebrities die in threes, scandal this, whatever. But it seems like as the technology is accelerating, the insanity is also accelerating. So it's getting to, it's what you said, it's getting to a point where it's like, you don't even remember what happened 3 days ago, because there's a new shit post. You get the president tweeting this, it's got fucking athletes in the White House eating McDonald's, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on? And it's like in 2 weeks, no one will even remember General Salami. It'll be the new thing. It'll be, Trump accidentally sent a dick pic to Merkel or something. So really no point to that rant.
But I liked it. It's cool.
Yeah. Thank you. If anything's gonna boom, it's gonna be memes. I mean, even look at memes. Look at how much those have changed, just evolved.
Oh my god!
I mean, think back to like 2010. What was it? It was like, like rage memes, like "F you, Forever Alone," or like Velociraptor, and now it's like fucking, I don't even know what. It's just it's memes have become like they've become so powerful that. Do you know the CIA has a memetic division? That was one of the things in the WikiLeaks in like 2016 and 2017. I swear to God, don't take my fucking word for it. Google it. This isn't some UFO bullshit. This is actually, they have a memetic division, and it was to learn and replicate, because they said that memes have, I mean, think Radio Free Europe, fax machines in the Soviet Union. They obviously value the power of information traveling and disseminating and replicating and evolving, and so they have the memetic division, because they said nothing else has the power to spread information as quickly You know, like normally we, you know, my generation, I'm 29 and younger. Yeah, give a fuck. Okay, whatever. We blew up an Iranian. All right, that's what we do. But with this, all of a sudden, it's, you know, it's Shrek with a metal helmet, and it's like me getting drafted for World War III. So that's how it's much more information passes much more quickly. But yeah, apparently they want to look into like the power of memes to disseminate information, and could it be like hijacked? Could they hijack it? Could you hijack it for productivity? Think like, and one of the things cited was motivational posters in the office, determination, and it's got like a hot woman in spandex climbing a mountain, it's some shit like that. It's like, could we get like the next level of memes to, milk the most out of your corporation, to whatever.
Dude, right now I'm just picturing a bunch of millennials and Zoomers like coming into the CIA office shit posting all day.
Yeah. Shit, fuck, man. I wouldn't put it past it. I wouldn't. Like, one thing I saw was like it was like a meta meme, but it was like propaganda for the Korean War. No, it was like propaganda for the Navy, or for the Navy in like World War II. The famous it's got a woman and she's like, gee, I wish I were a man, I would join the Navy. That one. In World War I, they used to, I don't know if you ever listen to Dan Carlin, Hardcore History.
No, I don't think I have.
It's fucking insane. You need to listen to it. But he goes into like World War I. He's like, part of the things government started doing was they would have these like beautiful young girls go around throughout towns and stuff, and they'd find military age males that hadn't joined, and they'd put like a little white flower in their ear, and it was basically a sign with, informally saying like, this guy's a complete pussy. like, and it was, and the last thing guys wanted was, oh, you've got the white flower. Like, why are you here? Why are you at your job? All your buddies are out fighting in Verdun or the Somme, whatever. But it was like, that was like propaganda then. So like World War II, it's, gee, I wish I were a man, and then what's it say in big words? Because my aunt has it framed. It's awesome. And then at the bottom it says, be a man, join the Navy, don't be a bitch, grab your balls. Someone said like, that's World War I, World War II. And then we're like, yeah, they don't do propaganda anymore. And then it's like, and then it was like a screenshot of all the World War III memes on the front of all the dank memes. And it was like, do they? and it was like, how do you not know the CIA doesn't have a whole server farm of a bunch of depressed millennials in bathrobes drinking Mountain Dew making World War III memes? It was, yeah, man. Someone fucking commented on my subreddit, Fun or History, the one where I made the post that you commented on. But someone said, this subreddit reeks of CIA and Air Force recruitment. I'm telling you right now, I'm not. I'm just a fucking douchebag with a phone that makes fake memes. But yeah, because I guess everything I make glorifies like the military. I'm like, oh yeah, I think it's cool. But like, yeah. So what makes me think like, shit, man. Like, I wonder how many like subreddits out there like might be. I don't know. I'm just ranting now.
No, you're good. I mean, you're not wrong. Like, I remember Reddit said, like, I mean, they keep doing it. They purge so many users because they think they're bots, or because they think they're agents from, Russia or an old Soviet bloc country. It's totally a thing, and it's the perfect platform to do it because of anonymity. You know what I'm saying?
Those 2 podcasts ago, I literally was like, anonymity. I was like, I can never say that word. Anonymity.
There we go.
No, you're right. I was thinking of that yesterday. I thought, how many arguments have I got into on Reddit that's not with a person at all? Like, it would be much more difficult for you to be AI, because it would have to simulate the video, it would have to simulate facial expressions, pauses, But on Reddit, you're not, I'm not. It's not like I need to see like complete sentences with proper grammar, like a comment that just says like "no you." Like I don't assume that that's not a bot, but like it doesn't seem too difficult for a bot to do. Like no, fuck you, like fuck your mom, like yeah, man, and yeah, it makes you think like how. Because it's a much easier Turing test to pass to just make bots. Because there's no human bot. There's no facial expression. There's no tone of voice. It's just text. Yeah, man.
Think a clever bot, man. That thing's pretty good.
Is that one of the Reddit bots?
No, like I'm just saying in general. But when it comes to like bots and like responding, like if you Google, I'm pretty sure it's called Clever Bot. Like, you can sit there and have a pretty good conversation.
Okay, yeah, the one you can. Yeah, it's... So who's to say that they don't have a weaponized program that says, let's turn the tide on public perception of Iran? And how else do you... It's
pass it for a minute.
Yeah, how else, it's easy to turn the tide of boomers. You just... go on mainstream media and Iran bad, America, everyone's like, I'm sold, but people like us, and it's we like to think that we're so much more savvy and like, I don't fall for that shit. Meanwhile, eating up memes, like who's behind the memes? Is it not just a software program? Is it not just some fucking guy that literally just turned the dial and they're like, let's put Iranian memes at a 7 today? Like, I don't know, man. Is it
bad that I think I live in a world where I don't think people take memes that seriously?
Yeah. No, neither do I. But at the same time, it's like I don't put anything past. Like whenever you think that like you've like okay, they wouldn't do that, you find some shit that the CIA did do, and it's.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I'm not arguing that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying memes are that effective, but I don't put it past them thinking they're that effective. And throwing a couple $100 million at it. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude! 1977, they had the it's from Skunkworks by Ben Rich. They had the Insectothopter. It was a mosquito that they basically gutted, but they kept all like basically the organic shell, and they put in like an RF receiver, and they could pilot this little fucking mosquito. Yeah, and they could use it to go listen to people at like the Russian embassy in fucking DC or something.
Jesus.
1977. I mean, Jesus Christ! You read DARPA by Annie Jacobson. They talk about having drone helicopters in Vietnam that had self-healing skin. They get shot at because they go right at the jungle canopy, and they'd shoot at them and puncture the gas tank and shit. Because no one really knew what drones were, but they're small enough that it was like, it's clearly there's not a person in there. That thing's 2 feet long. Yeah. So they had self-healing skin on drones in the late 60s in Vietnam, and that's all the classified DARPA shit. So it's so like I agree with you. I'm like, memes aren't that serious, but then I read shit like this, and I'm like, those fucking psychopaths. I could very well see it. Like, how the fuck? Like, I'm like, okay, go back and start looking at memes. I'm like, this could very well be some fucking memetic division shit. I don't know, man. I've been talking nonstop. Is there anything you want to bring up? I've kind of.
I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, no. I got nothing, man.
Shit, man. I hope you've. I hope it's been enjoyable. I didn't mean to rant nonstop for like an hour.
Oh, fuck no, man. You good. I had a great time.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, I think I'm going to go see a movie with my pops at like 1 o'clock. So I'm gonna cut this off in a minute. So I do want to have you back on, and I want you to listen to the Joe Rogan podcast with the Commander Fravor, and I want you to come back on and talk about UFO. Would you be down to do that sometime?
Yeah, man, I'll come on whatever you want me to.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, you don't need to tell me about the fucking ceiling on the radars. I've accepted. Okay, I keep your secrets. Keep your secrets. Fucking Frodo. Like, all right, Navy man. You keep your secrets. You keep your mysteries to you. I'm gonna send you a link to that. It's not fucking homework. Listen to it if you want, when you want, whenever. But no, I legitimately, I just want to know what you think about it, because there's always idiots like me that are like, UFOs are so cool, but like it's when he does have a podcast with a fucking naval pilot, a commander, and who had access to the Aegis systems, and they talked about it. I'm like, wait, what? Like, what? Yeah, so it's, and now I have access to a goddamn radar wizard, so I want to get your feedback on it. I'll send you a link, and when we can do it in a couple days, we can do it in a couple months. I don't give a fuck. It's whenever you're free to do it. But I'm giving you UFO homework.
Sounds good, man.
Hey, man, I fucking appreciate you coming on. I wish we could go longer, but I kind of promised my dad. But yeah, man, thanks for coming on, dude.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. It's been a great time.
Fuck, man, I appreciate it. People are like, oh, yeah, so what's your audience like? I'm like, we got like 5 subscribers. But like, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, dude, I just want to get it started, man. I just want to talk to people. So there's someone else in that Reddit thread, a guy that was on the USS Wisconsin when it was recommissioned.
I saw that.
Yeah, dude. I messaged.
I'm even interested.
Yeah. I messaged him. Well, fuck him. Send him this. I'll send him you saying you're interested. Said he wasn't sure. I won't say his name or anything. But he was He was on when it was recommissioned, and he told me some stuff about operating Turret 2.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm like, dude, you have to come on. He's not sure if he wants to, which I respect. It's obviously do whatever you want. But yeah, man, I want to have that guy on. My cousin, who's like 15 years older than me, was an Army Ranger in the 90s. He's gonna come on. He's fucking crazy. He wears a kilt, drives an H1 Hummer, and lives in Bubblefuck, Alaska. So he's a fucking character and a half, man. He's one of those different breeds. And then, do you know what the Sea Dragon is? It was a rocket. It was a rocket proposed in the 70s.
Oh, never mind. No.
So, the rocket that got us to the moon was 363 feet tall and had 7 million pounds of thrust. Saturn V. We still haven't built anything bigger than that. The Sea Dragon was going to be 500 feet tall. It's going to have 80 million pounds of thrust. They said it could have lifted the International Space Station in one go. It would have been so big, though, with such a big rocket, and the sound would have been so devastating that it would have fucking like killed people. So they were going to launch it. They were going to launch it from the sea, from the ocean, the Sea Dragon. They would bring it out there. They'd bring a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier out there, and then they'd electrolyze seawater to get the liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. They'd fill it up. Its buoyant force bring it down, and then they'd fucking launch it from the sea. Because they have to get so far away, and if it exploded, the airburst would be like a nuke. So they're like, we can't have that at Cape Canaveral. Yeah, it's So I posted something about that, and some dude commented, and he gave me his information. I haven't got back to him, or he hasn't got back to me. But he worked with a guy at NASA that designed that. When he was this guy that I'm talking to right now is fairly an old gentleman. The guy that when he was young, he was at NASA, and the guy that worked on Sea Dragon was also, when he was young, he met this guy who was old, but he had worked on the Apollo programs and helped design the Sea Dragon. And I was like, oh fuck, like, and he was like, yeah, like I used to work with him. He was my mentor. They did fucking. He's like, we worked with Evel Knievel on shit. And I was like, dude, you have to come on. And he was like, I'd love to come on your podcast, but I'm not sure how like tech savvy he is, because he gave me like his phone number and like mailing address, and I was like, fuck. So
if they give you a mailing address, that's a bad start, man.
Yeah. I'm like, all right. But yeah, I'm gonna follow through with that. But yeah, man. So hopefully, I should have 3 fucking more cool ones coming up. I want you to do your UFO homework, and I want to fucking talk about. I want to talk about more radar shit. In the meantime, I'm going to do some radar research, and I do want to have you back on. And as you can tell, we might not even talk about it. We might just talk about memes. But we're going to talk about memes and the cultural singularity and a bunch of other batshit crazy stuff. But hey, man, anyone that's down to fucking chat on a Sunday morning about memes and artificial intelligence, fucking cool in my book, man. So I appreciate it, Chuck.
Hey, no problem, man.
You have a good day, dog. Hey, I'll send you a link when it's ready, and Hope to have you on again.
Can't wait.
All right, dog. Appreciate it.
All right.
Have a good
See you,
one.
brother.
Bye-bye.
Bye.